Namaste and once again welcome back to the online maths class. In this session we move on to the new chapter called Triangles in NCERT Class 10 Mathematics textbook. You are familiar with the triangles and many of their properties from your earlier classes. In class 9 you have studied congruence of triangles in detail. Let us have a quick review on this topic. Congruent figures. First of all, congruent figures. Two figures are said to be congruent if they have the same shape and same size. Okay, two figures are said to be congruent if they have the same shape and same size. And if we come to congruence of triangles, we have two conditions. First one is the corresponding sides are equal. Corresponding sides are equal. And the second point is the corresponding angles are equal. Two triangles are said to be congruent if their corresponding angles are equal and their corresponding sides are equal. Okay. And we denote the congruency by the symbol, this one. So this symbol denotes is congruent to, is congruent to. For example, if you want to write triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR, we can write it in symbolic form as triangle ABC, then you have to write the symbol. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, and also you have learned some congruent criterias, namely SSS rule, SAS rule, ASA rule and RHS rule. So these are the four different congruent criterias or theorems you have already learnt. But in this session we move on to a new topic called similarity. Okay, now look at these examples. Here we are given some circles, squares, equilateral triangles and in the last case one quadrilateral and one rectangle. So in the first three cases they are similar. Circles are similar, all squares are similar, all equilateral triangles are similar because the shape remains the same. Size are different but shape remains the same. But in the last case the two examples are, the two figures are not the same shape. So they are not similar. Now look at these photographs. They are also similar. Do you know why they are similar? They have exactly the same shape. This is the only reason that made us to say they are similar. Okay. Anyhow, two figures are said to be similar if they have the same shape and not necessarily the same size. I repeat, two figures are said to be similar if they have the same shape but not necessarily the same size. Okay. Now let's check, is there any relation between congruent figures and similar figures? We can say that all congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures need not be congruent. Once again, all congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures need not be congruent. Now we move on to the next topic, similarity of polygons. So two polygons with the same number of sides are said to be similar if they satisfy the two conditions. First one is their corresponding angles are equal. And the second point is their corresponding sides are in the same ratio. Or we can say or proportion. So two polygons with the same number of sides are said to be similar if their corresponding angles are equal and the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. As you know, the equality in ratio is called proportion. That's why we write it as or in proportion. Okay, are in the same ratio, or in other words we can say that are in proportion. Clear? Now we move on to exercise 6.1. So it's a very simple exercise. Here the first question is, fill in the blanks using the correct word given in brackets. Fill in the blanks with the correct word given in brackets. So first sub question, all circles are dash, congruent or similar. Two options are given. We have to choose the correct option. First one is congruent and second one is similar. We already discussed all circles are similar. The circles to be congruent, they are exactly of the same radius. So here we don't know the circles are of the same radii. So we can conclude all circles are similar. Okay. And we move on to the second question. All squares are dash, similar or congruent. Here also similar. All squares are similar because the shape remains the same. And the third one is all dash triangles are similar. And the options are isosceles and equilateral. Clearly the answer is what? Equilateral. All equilateral triangles are similar. Okay. And the fourth sub question is, the polygons of the same number of sides are similar if first part, their corresponding angles are dash, corresponding angles are equal, and B, their corresponding sides are dash, in proportion or proportional. Okay. So in the first dash you can fill equal, and in the second part it is proportional. Understood? And the second question is, give two different examples of first sub question similar figures, second one non-similar figures. That question is left for you. You can find out the answer. Okay, do it yourself. And the third question is, state whether the following quadrilaterals are similar or not. Here we are given two quadrilaterals. One is a rhombus and other one is a square. The measures of sides are also given. The rhombus having equal sides measures 1.5 centimeter, and in square the side is of length 3 centimeter each. And clearly the two quadrilaterals are of different shape. They need not be similar. Okay. In square each angle measures 90 degree, but in rhombus it's not. So the shapes need not be similar. Okay, this finishes exercise 6.1. Now we move on to the topic similarity of triangles. Okay, two triangles are said to be similar if their corresponding angles are equal and the second point is their corresponding sides are in the same ratio. Or in proportion. So definition is same as in the case of polygons. So here two triangles are said to be similar if their corresponding angles are equal and the corresponding sides are in the same ratio. Okay, let us consider an example. Triangle ABC and triangle PQR are said to be similar if their corresponding angles. Now look at the figure. Here PQR. So the corresponding angles, that is angle A is equal to angle P, angle B is equal to angle Q, and angle C is equal to angle R. And the corresponding sides means sides opposite to equal angles. Here A is equal to P, so the side opposite to A is BC. So BC by, here angle A is equal to angle P and the side which is opposite to angle P is QR. that is BC by QR is equal to, and if we consider the angle B is equal to Q. So the opposite side is AC and PR, AC by PR, which is equal to, and if we take the third angle, that is C and R, here the opposite side is AB and here the opposite side is PQ. Okay, so this is what is given in the condition. Okay, the corresponding angles are equal and the corresponding sides are in the same ratio, and the symbol used for similarity is this one. Okay, is similar to. So here we can use this symbol. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Just an inverted S is used for denoting this similarity. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Understood? Now we move on to a very important topic in this chapter, basic proportionality theorem, BPT, or the Thales theorem. It's a very important question in board exam. It's a 4-mark question. Okay, the theorem states that if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. I repeat, if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. Okay, so we are given a triangle ABC in which a line is parallel to one side. I draw a line DE which is parallel to BC. Okay, here the proof of the theorem, I divide it into different parts. First one is given. Given means what is given in the question. So in this question we are given a triangle. So given triangle ABC in which DE is parallel to BC. Okay, so in order to score full marks in board exam, you have to construct the proof in such a manner. Clear? And the second one is construction. Construction means the additional lines or the helping lines which made us to prove the theorem very easily. Okay, so here the helping lines are, we join BE and CD first. Okay, so we can write join BE and CD. And again we make one more construction. Draw a line DM which is perpendicular to AC. Draw DM perpendicular to AC, and another one perpendicular, that is EN which is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so the constructions are join BE and CD. First of all we join BE and CD, and then we draw perpendiculars, DM perpendicular to AC and EN perpendicular to AB. Okay, and the next one is to prove. So in the to prove part we write what we have to prove. So here the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. What are the other two sides? Here the other two sides are AB and AC, because we draw the parallel line DE which is parallel to which side? BC. DE parallel to BC. So the other two sides are namely AB and AC. So AB and AC are divided in the same ratio. Clearly the line DE divides AB into two parts and AC into two parts. So the ratio becomes AD upon DB, AD by DB. So AD by DB which is equal to, and on the right side it becomes AE by EC. So that we have to prove AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. The parallel lines divides the other two lines in the same ratio. Clear? So if you write this much step only, you will get 2 marks in board exams. Out of 4 marks, you will get 2 marks. Half marks for each part. Half mark for figure, correct figure, half mark for writing given, half mark for writing construction, and half mark for to prove. Okay, and the remaining 2 mark is for the main part or the major part of the proof. Okay. Now we can consider the triangle ADE and we are going to find the area. Area of triangle ADE is equal to half into, we know the formula to find the area, half BH. Area of triangle is what? Half BH. So half into, here I take the base as AD because the perpendicular line is drawn to the side AD. Okay. So half into AD into EN. Clear? Base is AD and the corresponding perpendicular is EN. Take it as equation number 1. Okay. Then area of, next we take the triangle with DB as the base. DB as the base, that is DBE. DBE. Okay. So area of triangle DBE is equal to half into, here we take the base as DB and the corresponding perpendicular is EN. Okay. So here the triangle DBE, it is an obtuse angle triangle. One of the angle is obtuse, so it is known as obtuse angled triangle. So in an obtuse angled triangle, the altitude lies outside the triangle. The altitude lies outside the triangle. Here we draw the perpendicular from the vertex E, that is why it lies outside the triangle. We can rotate this figure. If I draw like this and draw perpendicular from this vertex, the perpendicular lies outside the triangle. Clear? So in an acute angle triangle, the altitude always lies inside the triangle, but in obtuse angle triangle, the altitude lies outside the triangle. Okay. So here, being an obtuse angle triangle, the altitude lies outside the triangle. Here we consider DB as the base and the perpendicular upon the side DB is what? EN. The perpendicular in the direction of the base is EN. That is why I write EN. Okay. That means for the first two cases, the perpendicular remains the same, EN. Now we move on to the next part. That means the right part, and we are going to take the triangle with the AE as the base and EC as the base. So first we can take area of triangle ADE. We already write area of triangle ADE in the first equation, but here we are going to take the base as AE. In the first case, we take the base as what? AD. But in the second case, we take the base as AE. So half into AE into, and the perpendicular to the side AE is, on the side AE is what? DM. DM is perpendicular to AC. So DM is also perpendicular to AE into DM, and take it as equation number 3. And finally we write area of triangle EC as the base, that is ECD. ECD. Triangle ECD, which will be equal to half into the base is EC, and what will be the height? It is also an obtuse angle triangle. Here this angle is obtuse. So the altitude, here EC is the base and altitude in that direction is what? dm. Okay, so it is dm. Equation number 4. Okay, if you are able to write these 4 steps, the theorem is almost over. You can write the remaining parts from these 4 steps. Okay, so once you are clear with this picture, you can easily prove the theorem. No need to by heart anything. Okay, if you know how to draw this triangle and what is given in the triangle, then we can easily write the proof of this theorem. Okay, now we got 4 different equations. From these equations we proceed the remaining. For that we can divide equation 1 and 2. Equation 1 divided by equation 2 implies, in equation 1 it is area of triangle ADE divided by, and equation 2 area of triangle DBE, which will be equal to, so instead of area of triangle ADE we can replace the value half into AD into EN and divided by, and area of triangle DBE is what? Half into DB into EN. Here half and half we can cancel, EN and EN cancel, and the remaining is AD by DB, and I take this as equation A. I take on different notation equation A. You can also take equation number 5. Okay, and next is equation 3 divided by equation 4, which implies area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle ECD, which is equal to half into AE into DM divided by half into EC into DM. Here also we can cancel 1 by 2 and 1 by 2, DM and DM, and which will be equal to AE by EC, and take it as equation B. Okay, and now we got 2 different ratios, AD by DB and AE by EC, but we have to prove these 2 ratios are equal. Okay, AD by DB equal to AE by EC, that we want to prove. So here we can check the LHS part of these equations. First one is area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle DBE, and in the second one area of triangle ADE divided by area of triangle ECD. Here the numerators are same. Both equations, the numerator remains the same, area of triangle ADE, here also area of triangle ADE, but on the denominator it is area of triangle DBE, here area of triangle ECD. So in order to make the RHS part, right hand side same, we have to prove the LHS is same. Okay, so in the LHS part the only difference is the denominators DBE and ECD. So we have to check whether they are equal or not. Look at the figure, area of triangle DBE, here the triangle DBE is, this is triangle DBE. Okay, DBE, and another one is ECD. ECD. Okay, this one is ECD, and you can identify that these 2 triangles lie on the same base DE. DE is the common base for both the triangles. Okay, and the 2 triangles are lying between the 2 parallel lines DE and BC. In the statement itself it is given that DE is parallel to BC. So here DE and BC are parallel and the 2 triangles are lying between the 2 parallel lines. And you have already learned the concept in 9th standard, chapter 9, areas of parallelograms and triangles. The theorem is the triangles on the same base and between the same parallels are equal in area. I repeat, the triangles on the same base and between the same parallels are equal in area. Do you remember? Okay. Anyhow, here triangle DBE and triangle ECD are on the same base DE and between the same parallels DE and BC. So we can write here triangle DBE and triangle ECD are on the same base DE and between the same parallels DE and BC. So area of triangle DBE will be equal to area of triangle ECD. Take it as equation C. Okay, here we got the areas are equal. That means the LHS of these two equations are equal. Therefore, the RHS must be equal. So from A, B and C we get AD by DB is equal to AE by EC and hence the theorem. Okay, so I repeat this theorem from this picture. You just observe the picture. Here we are given triangle ABC in which DE parallel to BC. Okay, if a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. Okay, that is what is called basic proportionality theorem or the Thales theorem. So given part we have to write given triangle ABC in which DE parallel to BC. Clear? Then construction, the helping lines. Okay, so here we join BE and CD. Then another construction, draw DM perpendicular to AC, EN perpendicular to AB. That's over. Next, to prove part. To prove means what we have to prove. Here we have to prove the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. That is AD by DB is equal to AE by EC. Okay, then we come to the main part. For that we take the triangle with the base AD first. So ADE and write the area. Area of AD is what? Half into base AD into height EN. Okay, then base DB. So DBE. Half into DB into, here also the perpendicular is EN. Then come to the right part. Base as AE. So ADE. Half into AE into the perpendicular is what? DM. Then take the base as EC. ECT. So half into EC into the perpendicular remains the same DM. So these are the four different equations. Now the next thing is we have to divide first equation by the second equation and third by the fourth equation. Okay, so equation 1 by 2 implies we get what? AD by DB. Like terms we can cancel and the remaining is what? AD by DB. And 3 by 4. Here also we get what? The right part, AE by EC. Now we have to prove these two ratios are equal. That is AD by DB equal to AE by EC. For that we take the LHS part. Here on the LHS part, the only difference is the denominator. Numerator the terms are same. Denominator is area of triangle DBE. Here area of triangle ECD. Okay, that's why we check the two triangles. And look at the figure. It is clear that these two triangles lie on the same base DE and between the same parallels DE and BC. So what we can conclude? The areas of these two triangles are equal. By the theorem you have learned in 9th standard, the triangles on the same base and between the same parallels are equal in area. Okay, and finally we can conclude by using these three equations A, B and C that AD by DB is equal to AE by EC and hence the theorem. I think all of you understood the concept. If you have any doubt you can ask me in the comment section. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Thank you.